Welcome to Unix Programming Module 5 Lecture Series 1. Okay, so here in this Module 5 you are going to learn the concept signals and daemon process. So this is the content of the Module 5. So here first you are going to learn what is a signal and different API of the signals, signal mask, sig action API and sig set jump and sig long jump functions, kill alarm API, and we are going to implement kill and alarm API. And after that we are going to learn about what is the daemon process and daemon characteristics and different coding rules for daemon. Okay, so first we will discuss about what is a signal. So signals are the triggered by the event and posted on a process to notify that something has happened and requires some action. Okay, so if the process is running in the background or in the foreground, the process will get some signals, okay, due to some event. That is called as a signal. And signals can be generated from a process or a user or the Unix kernel. So here there are three ways to generate the signals. First one is generated by a process itself, or by a user, or by the Unix kernel. An example here, a process performs divide by 0 or dereferences a null pointer, then one signal will be generated and sent to the process. Second, a user hit a delete or control C key at the keyboard. So when a user hits a key, delete or press a control C key at the keyboard, then a signal will be generated and sent to the process to terminate the particular process running. A parent and child process can send signals to each other for process synchronization. So here the parent and child both are communicating with each other, so they can send different signals just for the process synchronization between them. Signal are the software version of the hardware interrupt. So here signals are just a software interrupt, just to interrupt the particular process running in the background or in the foreground when some event has happened. Signals are defined as an integer flag in the header file signal.h. So if you want to use that all the signals API or signals in a program, Unix program, then you need to define the header, that is signal.h. So here these are the following signals found in most of the Unix operating system. The first one is a sig alarm, that is for timer expired terminate, sig abort abnormal termination. So you will get this signal when the process terminate abnormally, and the signal name sig fpe, that is for the arithmetic exception terminate. Okay, so if the process terminate due to the arithmetic exception, then you will get the signal sig fpe. Next one is a sig hup, controlling terminal hang up terminate, that is for the controlling terminal. Sig ill, that is for illegal machine instruction. So if there is any illegal machine instruction terminates, then the user will get the signal sig ill, or the signal sig ill will get generated. Next one is a sig int, terminal interrupt character. So if any user presses the button delete or control C, then the sig int signal is generated and sent to the process for the termination. Sig kill, so kill a process or kill -9. Sig pipe, the signal is generated when a process write to a pipe, so with a no readers terminate. That is for the inter-process communication when two processes communicate. Okay, so if there is no readers to terminate or for the communication, then the sig pipe signal will get generated. Next one is a sig quit. Okay, that is for the terminal quit character. Next one is a SIG SE GV, the segmentation fault. So if there is a segmentation fault while running the process, okay, then the signal will generated, that is SIG SE GV. Next one is a SIG term. The process terminates due to the kill API or the kill command, then you will get a signal SIG term. So here these are the some basic signals found in most of the Unix system available, like Ubuntu, Fedora. When a signal is sent to a process, then the signal will be in pending on the process side, then the process need to handle it. The process can react to a signals in one of the three ways. So here there are three ways to react to a signal when the signal will be in pending. The first one is accept the default action of the signal. Okay, when a signal is sent to the process can accept the default action, that is for the terminate the process. Second one, a process can ignore the signal. Third one, invoke a user defined function. The function is called signal handler routine. So through a user defined function, a signal can be handled, okay, that is called as a signal is said to be caught when the function is called. So here there are three different actions taken when a signal is generated. Next one is the signal API. All Unix systems and NCC support the signal API, which can be used to define the per signal handling method. So here the signal is used as a signal handling method. So this is the function prototype. So you need to use the header file signal.h, okay, and then the signal API has two arguments. First one is the int signum and void handler. Signal num is the signal identifier like a sig int and a sig term defined in the header file signal.h. So here in the first argument, so you can use that any one of the signals available in the Unix system like a sig int, sig term, okay. Second argument is the handler. Handler is the function pointer of a user defined signal handler function. This function should take an integer from argument and does not return any value. Okay, the signal function does not return any value. So here this program trying to attempt to catch the sig term which is defined in the first statement of the main function, and the program is trying to ignore the signal, that is a sig int, and third one, the program is trying to accept the default action when there will be a segmentation fault, there will be a default action taken, okay. So if the signal sig int is generated, then that signal will be ignored, okay, and when sig term signal is generated, that signal is to be handled by the signal handler function. And next one is a pause, that is for the waiting for the signal interruption. So this is one example how to use that signal API to handle the signal when signal is generated. So as you know, here there are three actions to be taken. One is to handle the signal by the user defined function, to ignore it, and to hand for the default action. Next one is a signal mask. Each process in a Unix or POSIX.1 system has a signal mask that defines which signal are blocked when generated to a process. So using this signal mask, so we will come to know which are the processes are blocked when the process is generated. We will come to know about the process blocked in a Unix system. A blocked signal depends on the recipient process to unblock it and handle it accordingly. So here to unblock the process, it depends on the process recipient, okay, and to handle that signal, it depends on the process. If a signal is specified to be ignored and blocked, Okay, so if the signal is to be ignored or blocked, then the implementation dependent on the whether the signal will be discarded or left pending when it is sent to the process. The process may query or set its signal mask via the API, that is SIG-proc mask. So if you want to know how many signals are blocked or pending to take the action, then you will come to know by using this API in your Unix program. At the API prototype, you need to use the header file signal.h int SIG-proc mask. First argument is the int command, second is constant sig set underscore t star new mask, third argument sig set underscore t star old mask. Okay, so here there are three arguments of the API SIG-proc mask. New mask defines a set to be set or reset in a calling process. Command specifies how the new mask value is to be used by the API. The possible value for the commands are, the first argument is the command value, the sig underscore set mask, sig underscore block, sig underscore unblock. The first value overrides the calling process signal mask with the value specified in the new mask argument. Second value sig underscore block, it adds the signals specified in the new mask argument to the calling process signal mask. You are going to add the signal to a block. And sig underscore unblock removes the signals specified in the new mask argument to the calling process signal mask. You are going to unblock that signal by passing this or assigning this value to the first argument. So if the actual argument to new mask argument is a null pointer, so second argument if it is a null, then the command argument will be ignored and the current process signal mask will not be altered. Okay, so if the second argument the value null, then the command argument will be ignored. Okay, and then the current process signal mask will not be altered. So here there are different API defined to query the signals. The first one is sig empty set, second one sig add set, sig delete set, sig fill set, and sig is member. The first one is sig empty set. You are going to clear that all the signals pending. Second one, you are adding a signal mask, means whether the signal is blocked or not. Third one, delete set. You are going to delete that all the signals blocked. Fill set sets all the flags in the signal mask. Sig is remembered. Sig is a member. So just it checks whether the signal is a member or not. So this is one example. The following example checks whether the sig int signal is present in a process signal mask and adds the signal to the mask. If it is not there, then clears the signal sig SEGV signal from the process signal mask. So here in this program you are going to add the sig int signal to a mask and then you are going to clear the signal sig SEGV, adding and deleting that signal. Okay, so here first you need to include the header file, and then inside a main function the first statement just you are declaring that signal mask, and then you are calling that sig empty set just to initialize the set, and then you are calling that API SIG-proc mask. So here the first argument is 0 and second argument is 0 and third one you are passing that address of a mask. Okay, so if the API returns -1, then you will get an error message, otherwise you will get a current signal mask. Okay, so if the API returns 0, then you are going to add sig add set Okay, you are going to add the signal sig int to the signal mask. After that, you are calling that API sig delete set just to remove the signal, that is segmentation fault signal, by that API sig delete set, or clearing the sig SCGV signal from the flag. Okay, after that you are calling that API again sig proc mask, and then first argument is the sig set mask. We are going to set that signals. Okay, so if it returns -1, then you will get an error message. Okay, so this is the way to set signals and remove the signals from the signal mask.